Hello everybody, I am Carrie, aka Mai of the Fire, and today we are going to be playing the one, the only, the original RollerCoaster Tycoon! Woo! This is my favorite game of all time. I have poured probably 600 plus hours into this damn thing. Back in middle school, there were times where I was playing for like regularly 4 or 5 hours straight. I've just gone through all these scenarios so many times, like... Oh, goodness. So many memories with this game. So, I thought it'd be fun to go ahead and try playing this game again, sharing my expertise on some of these scenarios and all the great custom coasters that we get to build. I'm going to try to go through as many of them as possible in the next few months, however long this takes. But, for now, let's start at the very beginning. A very good place to start with Forest Frontiers. So I'm just going to pause the game for a sec. This is the first scenario. You start out with $10,000 and you can put your loan up to 30 grand, which is more than enough to build absolutely anything that you would like. This scenario is basically a cakewalk. All we need is 250 guests in 1 year. Pretty much there's no way to fail this scenario. All you have to do is like build literally anything and you're there. So I am going to start this park, as I do most of my parks, with a little front of the park grid system. This will give me a blueprint to lay out all of my rides, and a central point. This little split here will ensure that the guests don't get too crowded. Oh yeah, first thing I do in any scenario is go to maximum research funding. Usually I will do thrill rides first, but in this park there are no extra thrill rides. You're just stuck with the scrambled eggs and the swinging ship, so yeah, I'm not going to keep funding on thrill rides. We don't need shops and stalls yet. We don't need ride improvements yet. Really, we want two things. The steel coaster, which is the first thing that I want, and then gentle rides, which would be like, in this case, we're going to get the observation tower. My cats are making a racket in the background, so I apologize for that. Things like bumper cars, Ferris wheels, good things for starting a park. So I am just going to go ahead and start laying down some rides so that we can get this park open as fast as possible. Build a carousel over here. You really don't want the lines to be too long on a lot of these gentle rides because they tend to have low ride capacities. The merry-go-round and the Ferris wheel in particular. Let's see. Thrill rides. Gonna put the scrambler here in the middle. Kitties, stop making a racket. They like arguing in the morning for some reason. This game is so relaxing and fun, at least in the early scenarios, because it's very, very borderline impossible to fail them. Again, Forest Frontiers is just like a cakewalk. Dooby-dooby-dooby-doo. Oops, actually I don't want the line there. Back up. Let's see, anything else we can build to start off with? Spiral slide, sure. I'm just building all the flat rides that I can. And I am going to build a roller coaster once. Okay, let's see. Yeah, first order of business is getting some flat rides down so that we can open the park. I'm just going to go mass open and open. And we are operating. Woohoo, we are theme park owners. So, starting out with flat rides, basically, you get guests in the park, you get the money starting to come in, so that once you do start building your passion projects, the roller coasters, you will have the money and the resources to make them as awesome as possible. Also, when I start out a park, you can set the entry price on these flat rides way higher than they are. These will all end up with excitement ratings in the 2 to 3, so $2 to $3 is the price that you can go. My rule of thumb for entry fees for these is that you can basically charge $1 for each point of excitement rating. You can charge a little bit more if the intensity and the nausea ratings are higher as well, just because that's how the game works. I am not really sure what the reasoning on that is. Alright, now I'm going to start things off with a mini coaster. That's a very good place to start in any of these parks. And I'm going to tuck it in the corner over here. Our carousel providing some lovely ambient music. So my area of expertise in RollerCoaster Tycoon, again, is building custom coasters. It is my bread and butter, the thing that I've always been the best at, and the thing which I'm expecting to distinguish me from the many others who play this game on YouTube. Like, I approach this game as a roller coaster designer. Other people are very good at the theme park construction aspects, where for me, it's all about the rides. I purchased this game basically so that I could design awesome custom coasters. So, like, that is the main thing that I am hoping to contribute to the YouTube world on this. So we're just going to do a simple out and back design with this ride here. So I'm just going to have it go all the way out, come all the way back. It's going to be nice and high speed. I'm going to use one of my favorite turnaround elements there. Get in some hills here. I'm just trying to vary the layout up a bit. Get in some nice curves. Tunnels are kind of one of my signatures. I love the interplay of above ground and below ground. And a lot of times to finish off rides, I'll just do like big underground sections. They're fun. I don't need to. Okay, I actually need to go one more, then we can bring it up. So again, for this ride I was just going simple. So as you can see here, we got a very, very simple double out and back kind of design. We got the spiral lift, spiral drop, big hill, huge drop underground, comes back up above ground, does a sweeping ground turn up, couple rabbit hops for some airtime, another spiral drop, curve underground, a helix, one little last hop above ground, some S-bends, and back to the station. Simple ride design, should be nice and fun. I'm actually going to make the station 1 square longer. One of the obnoxious things about this version of the game is that in RollerCoaster Tycoon 2, they fixed this, where you could do a block break design on coasters, where in the original RollerCoaster Tycoon, you basically just got stuck with having how many trains that you can run completely dependent on the length of the station. So, like, in order to fit the most trains on a ride, you have to make as long of a station as possible to get the highest ride capacity. Oh, and I have a kitty on my computer who is playing with my mouse cord. Maya, get out of the way, kitty. Excuse me. I just want to share my cute kitty with the world. She's going to sit in front of the microphone and purr with me. Cute kitty. Yeah, listen to that purring. Yeah. Hey, Maya. Okay. Anyway. We shall continue now. Alright, so first things first, let's get this bad boy started and test. Let's see, how are we doing on trains? 2 trains, 10 cars per train. Let's see if we can do better. 3 trains, 8 cars per train. That is way better. That is a capacity of 24 rows of trains instead of 20, which is a marked improvement in ride capacity. We want our roller coasters to be as high capacity as possible, because when you build cool custom coasters, a lot of people are going to want to ride them. You can charge a very high admission price when the excitement rating is super high. On these mini coasters, usually it's only going to be like a 5 or a 6, so it's not going to be like astronomical excitement ratings. But once you get into the big ones like vertical drop coasters, hyper coasters, all that fun stuff, it will really, really matter how many people you can fit on the ride and how much you can charge for them. Especially in the later scenarios like Vertigo Views and other ones that, like, the criteria is making a bunch of money on ride tickets, it will be important. So, again, at this early stage of the game, I'm just trying to get fun rides with a high capacity, and this coaster turned out absolutely perfect. Yes. Man. All those elements were taken at the perfect speed to not be, like, super, super high on the intensity rating, but it's still going to be really exciting. Oh yeah, look at that. Great. We are off to a fantastic start. So let's go ahead and get an entrance line set up, and then we can open. Alright. Now, if I have built my coaster correctly, I should have a nice clear path from the station to... Yes. I like it when I do my job right. Alright. We are ready. Let's open. And because we got an excitement rating in the 6s, we can easily charge $5 for entry. Even more would probably be fine, like $5.50. I could easily do that and we will be absolutely fine. Now I just need a name for this coaster. Let's see. Well, we got a big drop. We got lots of tunnels. By the way, this thing here that I did where I put a brake run before the station, that is an insurance policy in this game, because in RollerCoaster Tycoon 1, because you cannot do a block braking system where you have brake runs that separate the trains from each other, coasters can and will crash. So every so often you will get something called the station brakes failure, and if you have a train that is just plowing into the brake run at like 30 miles an hour, the train will crash and explode. We do not want that, obviously. So I always put a brake run that is detached from the station just to make sure that the car slows down enough so that it's not going to crash even if we get a station brakes failure. And I'm going to call this Tunnel Bug. Let's see, what do I want for a color scheme? This isn't particularly important, but yeah, I'm not sure if I'm a fan of that. No. I think that laser motif, like that laser yellow motif, is pretty cool. And if this is a bug that tunnels, we will make it appropriate, like, buggy colors. Alright, so we got our first coaster. 6.28 excitement rating, which is fantastic for a mini coaster. And yeah, just look at this bad boy. I love it. Oh yeah, and since the park is open, we need some staff. So, I'm gonna hire some handymen. We'll start with 5. I'm going to make sure that they are set to not mow the grass, because what happens if they are set to mow the grass is that they will waste all of their time walking around the outside of the park paths, and you will not lose any park rating points for having unmowed grass, but you will 100% lose park rating points for having puke and trash on your sidewalks, and that is not a thing that we are in the business for. So yeah, we want to make sure that our handymen are set to not mow. Otherwise, they will waste all their time mowing, and that is not okay, boo-boo. So next up, I'm just going to make sure that there are plenty of benches at the exit of this roller coaster. What? People didn't think it was great? No? And Maya has found her way back up to trying to attack my mouse cord, so I will have to do kitty removal again. Maya. Thank you. Yeah, I'll just set the price back to $5. I'm not going to be greedy, money-grubbing bastard. Okay, so now we want to switch to gentle rides, because we do have our steel roller coaster. That is the next thing that I'm going to build. I want to build a shuttle coaster, because it will fit perfectly in this back space here. Let's see, can I buy that land if I want? Why, yes I can. So I can absolutely stick this coaster over here in the corner. Maya, stop jumping on the computer, kitty. Let me make sure that I can fit 8 cars. Yep. Let me increase my loan a bit. I love the shuttle coasters. Okay, Maya, please stop playing with my mouse. You need to get off of the computer. I'm going to be doing a lot of kitty removal in this video. Okay, so actually I want to... Let's do a nice big helix up. Then we are going to power this coaster into interlocking loops. My favorite thing to do on steel coasters by far. Ah, kitties! Oh my god, they just knocked... Excuse me, I'll be right back. Okay, so that noise that you just heard was my cats knocking down my mirror. Thank you for that, kitties. And let's just get back to this here coaster. If I have done my math right, I should be able to fit an interlocking loop right here perfectly. I did not do my math right, apparently. I might have to tunnel the loop under the ground. Oh no. which I will gladly do. Makes it more exciting that way. Oh wait, actually that's why the... Let me backtrack. Okay, that's why the loop didn't go. It's because it was on the wrong side. Now we should be able to fit it in. If I take it there. There we go. Oh yeah. Okay. Alright, so I did do my planning right. It's just that I didn't think through it. Just gotta increase my loan a little bit. We're halfway through our initial loan. All right, let's try this bad boy out. Powered launch. Let's try 54 miles an hour to start, and hopefully that'll be enough. I'm gonna build the entrance right here, and I'm gonna buy a little land so that that entrance will work properly, which isn't a big deal. That's all I need to buy. Piece of cake. Let's test this bad boy. Interlocking loops are one of my favorite things to do on a roller coaster. So, yeah, you'll be seeing that a lot. This is just in its simplest form. Hopefully we have enough speed to complete this circuit. It's going to be close. Come on, you can do it. You can do it. You can do it. You did it! Woohoo! Alright. Little bit close to the speed. Well, I actually might be able to increase the speed a bit. I'll see if I want to or not. Let's see what our GForces are at and where our excitement rating's at before I decide on our launch speed. Okay, that is pretty darn good. So yeah, no need to increase... As a test, let's see what happens if I do increase the speed to, say, 58 miles an hour. That's definitely going to increase the vertical Gs, and I'll see if it increases the excitement rating too. If it does, I will keep it there. If it doesn't, I'll roll it back. So yeah, one of the good things about interlocking loops is that it greatly increases the excitement rating. Loops are already one of the most exciting elements on a steel coaster, so when you interlock them like that, it will really boost up the excitement rating of the ride, which I am a huge fan of, so we will continue to do that. Alright, so we increased the vertical Gs by like 0.5. If this increases the excitement rating, I will be happy. If not, I will roll the launch speed back a bit. Okay, it did. We're at 7.39 now, which means we might get this up to very high with some scenery work. So yeah, I will keep it there. Alright, so this one is going to be $6. Now, what should I call this? I'm always at a loss for names on these roller coasters. I usually just mix up a combination of like real roller coaster names and just ones that I've come up with myself. So let's see, this one. Let's go with a classic launch coaster name. Grease lightning, whoa, grease lightning. Do 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 do. Grease lightning, whoa, grease lightning. Then, just to boost up the excitement rating, I'm going to add some trees. A classic way to boost said excitement rating. Maya tried to jump on the computer again. You are just so insistent today, Maya. She wants to play! Okay, that one ended at a 7.5. Pretty good. Cannot argue with that. And pretty much here right now, we already have everything that we need for a successful park that's going to get us to... We already have 276 guests, so yeah, we're done. Oh, I totally didn't notice that we had the Ferris wheel unlocked, so I'm going to go ahead and build the Ferris wheel. Had to make a minor change to my path to make that work. And I'm actually going to set this as a no entry so the guests don't get confused and go into the exit line of the swinging ship. I live in Ohio, so I'm going to go with the Cedar Point name for that. Oh yeah, we got to adjust the color scheme on this. Woo, that is dangerously close to the top, but it should be fine. Since this coaster's name is Grease Lightning, we gotta go with the lightning yellow color. And, like, the money is gonna just start coming in really fast now. I'm just gonna go ahead and extend my grid out to the next level here. And this is where I'm going to build my next level of park stuff. I'll build another swinging ship over here because that's a popular attraction. Again, this is mainly just me getting more space for the guests, adding more rides, increase my ride revenue, the cycle goes on. So, we got Scrambler number 2 and Swinging Ship number 2. I always build new rides as close to my old rides as possible because it increases their excitement rating. Give my rides dumb names that are very obvious. These are both Scrambler, the sequel, and Pirate Ship, the sequel. Oops, gotta adjust the price so that it's fair. And also to differentiate these two, I'm going to increase the number of swings here to 13 and 12, just make these a little tiny bit more exciting. And of course, the sequel has to be bigger and more action than the original, so it's apropos. And I'm going to add some more trees over here. Because I can. This is Forest Frontiers, it has to look like a forest. And again, increases the excitement rating of stuff, so yep, I am for all of that. Wasting money, you say? No, I'm making my rides more exciting. And now's about the time that I have to start hiring mechanics, so let's hire some mechanics. Usually I try to do one mechanic per 3 or 4 rides. 1, 2, 3, 4. So right now we're at 10 rides, so I probably need 3 mechanics. I did also see some puke on the paths, so I'm going to hire some more handymen. And make sure that these time wasters are set to not mow the grass. You slackers. And I'm just going to make some more bench paths here, make sure that these new thrill rides have suitable puke chairs. Because again, we do not want our guests throwing up. Just in the nick of time, we got an observation tower. So I'm going to slap the observation tower right over here next to Grease. Well, usually you want the observation tower somewhere in the middle of the park. Here seems fine. I always build my observation towers as high as I possibly can, because that's the highest excitement rating that you can get with them. Observation towers are a good investment, because not only can you charge a bit more for them than most flat rides, but also when it rains, people will still go on them. People actually flock to them. So yeah, top of the world. I'm on top of the world looking down on creation, and the only explanation I can find. And our paths are still a bit pukey, so let's go up to 10 handymen. Handymen greatly increase your park rating just by being there. Like, if your park paths are clean, you will get a lot higher ratings. So, yeah, I always like to have as many handymen as possible. They are never a bad investment. Let's see, are we at the point where we need to start opening food stands? The music is nice. It's too crowded. Somebody thinks it's too crowded? Where? I don't think it's too crowded. I'm biased, but whatever. So this coaster is making us $7,000 an hour. This one is making us also $7,000 an hour. Not bad. This is a super high excitement rating for a kiddie coaster, for like a junior coaster. Like usually the highest that those go is 7. So yeah, I did a pretty good job on that one, I must say. This one, really, I wish my steel coasters are all like in the very high range, but it's really hard to get a rating like that on a launched coaster, so this is pretty darn good for that. So I'm not complaining. And again, all of our funding is going into general rides just so that we can fill the park out. Let's see, what's the ride capacity on this? 1104. This one is 1728. So yeah, if I do an advertising campaign for a particular ride, like this, you always want the one with the highest capacity. Because then, when people flock to the ride line for that one, they will not have to wait in line forever. Really, all I need to round out this park now is like a really good wood coaster. How many months we got? Let's see. So it's July, August, September, October. We still got 3.5 months to build another coaster. We are already thriving. We have long since achieved our goal of 250 guests. Like, again, this scenario is basically a cakewalk. You can pretty much just do this one in your sleep. So I'm just gonna sit back here and watch the guests flood in. Look at them come. By the way, a quick word on admission price versus charging for rides. I personally like to do pay per ride or pay one price admission. Usually you don't want to start with pay one price admission because you start out with so few rides that people are going to think that your park is a terrible value, and we do not want that. You will make a lot more money if you do pay per ride, especially if you are good at building custom coasters, because when you get things up into like the 9, 10 excitement rating, you can charge $10 and people will gladly pay it. Because once a coaster gets a super high excitement rating, it's like people don't care how much it costs. Like, I have built vertical drop coasters with excitement ratings of like 10, 11, and people have paid $13 for it in the Vertigo Views park, which I hope to eventually be able to show, but I haven't unlocked that scenario yet, so I can't open my old save file. A save file, which, by the way, was created back in, like, 2002. I love the classics, I do. Let me see, is there anything else I can build right now? We're getting kind of to the time where we want to start thinking about building food, so I will do so. Build a boigas bar. Build a drinks beer. Make sure... This is another thing that you need a crap ton of benches for, because people like to sit down when they eat. And also I make sure not to build my food and drink stalls too close to the exits of intense rides, because then the people who are eating food will start hogging up the benches, and people who have to puke will be very inconvenienced, which is not a good thing. Then I just need some bathrooms. Let's do one over here. And one over here. At opposite ends of the park, so that people don't have to walk too far. And also right next to my rides, because building stuff next to your rides increases its excitement rating, as always. I'm gonna hire another mechanic. Excuse me. Alright, well, Hedge Maze is the next thing we're getting, which is kind of useless, so... Let's see, I'm gonna have 13 grand. Let's build a wood coaster as the finale. Wood coasters are my absolute favorites in this game, just like in real life. They are so awesome. You want your station platform to be all the way long -1, because that will allow you to do 3 6-car trains. Alright, I'm going to take my loan up to 25 and hope we have enough money to finish this thing. Alright. 22, yeah, that should give us more than enough. I like doing a giant first drop if possible. Okay, no, that would have way too much vertical G's, so we're not going to do that. So this thing that I'm doing here where I'm leaving like one flat square between my, so like I'm building one flat square and then going up 2 up squares and then go highly vertical. That is a secret that I know to reduce the vertical G's. Basically, if you go immediately back up, you will have like 3.5 G's there. Going up more gradually lets you reduce significantly how much force is in the coaster. I wish we didn't have so much limited space here. Nope, can't go that way. We are low on space. I should mention that this particular scenario is very low on space for big coasters like this. So, you gotta plan wisely. And I'm just like interlocking this with my other coaster as much as possible. Because again, it adds to the excitement rating, and I am an excitement rating greedy person. I want all my coasters to be as exciting as possible. Yeah, I don't think I like that layout actually. Let's go back this way. Okay, so that's like a high-speed section. Let's do another big hill. So let's see, we were at 20 here. We should be able to go back up to... yeah, 16 should be good. Then I'll do a spiral drop. So again, this is just me like trying to squeeze the coaster in as little space as possible which will add to the excitement rating, as always. Whenever you like overlap the tracks, things like that, you will greatly increase the excitement. I think I'm out of the park boundary there. Yep. And I don't think I can buy that part. Nope, I cannot. So I gotta go back. Alright, so we are going uphill here, so I should be able to do this drop with no problem that way. So, I don't know if anyone else has noticed this, but this is a quirk of RollerCoaster Tycoon. They always, when they are doing the test runs, measure the G-forces from the very front seat. So, notice, whenever I'm cresting a hill sharply, I always make sure that it is at the absolute highest number that the coaster can go, because when it's cresting a hill, most of the train is still below it, so it still has a lot of momentum. So whenever you're cresting a hill, you will get a lot more negative Gs than when you're going down a hill. So here, the coaster train is going to be going faster. But because we're going down the hill sharply rather than up the hill sharply, we should be fine in the negative. Kitties! Stop making... Okay, my cats just knocked my toaster on the ground. Goodness, they are being destructive today. Jeez, kitties! Okay, no, it's probably not going to make it that high. I feel like going underground again. I have a problem. Alright, now is when we have to start thinking about finishing this, because we are running out of money. Alright, so this is the point of the ride where I'm going to do one of my favorite things to do on a coaster. We are going to do... oops, okay, I'm going to do an element that appeared on the roller coaster Tremors, where we're going to go... Let's see, Rattled Lemon. Probably we can still go up to like 12 at this point. Let's see if we can go to 13. It's possible. I'm going to test that. So, unfortunately, in the original RollerCoaster Tycoon, the only way that you can test to see if a coaster is going to make it back to the station is to actually complete the circuit. In later RollerCoaster Tycoons, they would just let you test it without completing the circuit, which was a great help because having to complete the circuit in order to test is a pain in the butt. Okay, actually, let's make sure that we have 6 cars per train so that we can get our 3 trains in. It is now August, so we got plenty of time to build this thing. In the meantime, our park is still basically running itself, making money. Tunnel Bug has a full line because we advertised it, but it has a ride capacity of like 2,000 per hour, so it's fine. Did I open the bathrooms? Okay, I did open the... Yes, I did open the bathroom and the food stalls. Oops, I just realized I do not want to have all the cars on the track at the same time in case it does not make it. This coaster is looking great. I'm not sure how much fun stuff we're going to get to do with it just because we might be running out of speed by this point, but I shall see. Hopefully we can get lots of airtime. So a lot of times when you're building big coasters like this, you just want to test and make sure that it is making it over the hill at a reasonable speed so that your G-forces aren't too high. I guarantee you it will make it over this first hill at exactly the right speed. I have... Yep. Perfect. Big double down there. Down to the ground. Then a nice little high-speed section next to the steel coaster here. If I did my math right, it should just make it over this hill. Ooh, that was way closer than I was expecting. So probably it's not going to make it over the one back there. Almost certainly. Yeah, it's going a little bit slower than I wanted it to. And that is not what I want. Okay, so let's go back. This is supposed to be a high-speed element, so... Okay, actually I can't do that. We're kind of running out of speed at this point, so... let's make this another double down. I am a big fan of the double down. And a double down that goes back underground, cool stuff. Ugh, I just wasted a lot of money on that. Misclick. So now I am in fact doing the thing that I mentioned about the Tremors coaster that I'm a big fan of. I'm kind of not sure where I want to go from here. Like, at this point, we're going to be running out of speed and fast, so... just got to figure out how I want to finish it. That might be a little bit too intense. We'll see. Alright, I'm not entirely happy with the ending there, but this should still be pretty dang good. You know, we got a lot of cool elements on this. We got a lot of airtime. We got a lot of cool curves. So, I'm a fan. It's not one of my... I don't think it's going to be one of my best creations, but it's still pretty cool. We will have plenty of opportunities to build awesome rides in the future. We are making $4,500 a month from ride tickets now, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, my main complaint with this coaster is that the speed isn't as high as I wanted it to be, but it should still be okay. Oh yeah, I forgot to put an on-ride photo section in this, too. That is something we'll have to remedy. Where should I put one? Alright, that ride looks very cool. A little bit high on lateral Gs. 1.8 is really pushing the upper range. We also have 3.6 vertical Gs. There's a chance that this one... Oh, hey! We did it! How about that? By the time we add our Q line, that will be into the very high range. I am a fan. Okay, I will call that a ride. For big coasters like this that have a high nausea rating, I like separating the ride exit from the rest of the main walking path. I do not do that with flat rides, but on a big roller coaster, you want people to happy land. What? That's a no entry. What do I want to name this ride? Well, first of all, we are going to set the price at $7, because this is a major coaster. I don't know. What name do I want to give a big wood coaster? Well, I did Cedar Point names on the previous ones. I'm a Cedar Fair fangirl, so... Mean Streak. R.I.P. But it's fine because Steel Vengeance is going to be way freaking better than Mean Streak was. Yeah, there we go. Very high. Sweet. Sweet, 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 sweet. We did it. Anytime you get a very high rating... Oh, hey, Grease Lightning is up to very high, too. This is kind of a thing where the more coasters you build, the higher all of your coasters' excitement ratings are going to start to get. So, yeah. I'm a fan. This ride did end up being a little bit slower than I wanted it to be. But, yeah. It is still pretty cool. If I wanted to make this excitement rating even higher, I could actually, like, let's see. We're 14th of October. You know what? I'm going to do it. You can close the ride, rebuild just one tiny little section, and what you can do is just open it, wait for guests to get on. I'm going to set the entry price to $2 for these test rides. Most guests are not going to get on, but what we want is just enough so that we can fill the train up about halfway. What that is going to do is the increase, like, if you might have noticed from Grease Lightning here, when we tested it with an empty train, it only made it up to about here. But with the full train, it goes all the way up. When you have people on the ride, it increases the weight of the ride vehicle. And what that does is makes it go faster. So because this ride lost some excitement points due to it going very slowly over some of the hills, and we still had like approximately 0.5 left of excitement, of intensity rating, if I let some people on the ride and then open it so that the ride is getting tested with a partially full train, that will result in more airtime, more speed, and therefore a higher excitement rating. So I am going to do that. I will let this ride go once we get about 8 to 10 people on it, because we don't want a completely full train. There's a high chance that the intensity rating will go over 10 if we do that. But about a half full train and we should get a higher excitement rating. We might be able to get the excitement rating in the 8s this way. And this is a little trick that I do that can sometimes boost the excitement rating of certain coasters. You don't want to do that on every coaster because it increases the intensity rating. It can throw an intensity rating over 10. And once an intensity rating is over 10, nobody will ride it, and it will vastly reduce your critical mass of... Oh, I just noticed that we got bumper cars. Yeah, that might have been a mistake. Because it won't fit. Well, I'll figure that out in a moment. Alright, so we got 6. There is 7 and 8. I'm going to go ahead and send that on the circuit. 8 riders should be more than enough to boost the excitement rating in the second half of the ride a little bit. Oh man, just in time too. Now it's raining, so people aren't going to go on. So our excitement rating before we did this was 7.88. This might raise it into the 7.9s. We will see. And as you can see, this has a little bit more speed going over these hills now. So, because the second half of the ride was a little bit slow, this will increase our excitement rating. Oh, okay, well, we just finished the objective. Again, I pretty much barely did anything. Like, I was kind of almost not even trying on this, and we still easily achieved this goal. Alright, so as you can see from the test results, we got higher lateral Gs, higher negative vertical Gs, but it should be fine. Watch the group. Oh wow, that actually did not do it. Okay, well, fail. Alright, well, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. This time it didn't. Whoops, wrong button. In any case, we officially achieved our goal. I'm just going to finish building this bumper cars that I was starting to build before I went back and tried to make my roller coaster better unsuccessfully. Also, right about now is the time that people will stop going on your... Like, you can't keep the prices high forever on the flat rides. Eventually people will stop going on them or stop paying that much for them. So eventually we'll have to drop the price of the flat rides, which is why you need these great big custom coasters, because they keep the profits coming in. You can charge enough for them that they will maintain you, and unlike the flat rides, people will never say, I'm not paying that much. If you build prefab coasters or coasters with mediocre excitement ratings, it absolutely will do that. So, yeah, build big custom coasters like this, and your park will thrive as a result. Again, I think this is so cool when I do this, where I go underground and then back up. It's so fun. Like, that is... I don't know if anyone has actually ridden Tremors, but that coaster's great. And that thing where it goes underground and then back up and underground again, so fun. I love doing that. Alright, and we're back to 7.88. Okay, so... I will call that a park. This was... I'm going to go ahead and save. Forest Frontiers 3. This is the third time that I've tried to do this video, by the way. The first time I built it, but I realized, shoot, but I thought I was just doing it to beat the scenario. I didn't really build any interesting rides. So, I decided not to keep that. And then the second time, I tried and failed to build big, good rides. This time, we have tried and succeeded. All three of our coasters were major successes. This one could have been a little bit better, but I kind of ran out of stuff to do at the end. So I just kind of had to settle. Like, we will definitely build better coasters in the future. Yeah, I forgot to build trees in front of this ride. Again, I just want to see how high I can get the excitement rating on this. Having scenery next to your coasters greatly boosts said excitement rating. Things that make your coasters more exciting. Obviously, speed, variety of elements. You get diminishing returns when you build certain elements and do them over and over again. Having scenery next to your coasters is a big boost. Having the track close together is a big boost. There's just a lot of ways to boost the excitement rating of your rides. Having pathways next to the ride is a huge one, which, as you'll see, that's why on my big coasters I always like doing some interplay with the pathways in the ride, like I did here, and kind of here, but not really. All of these things are things which will increase the stats of your rides, and also building trees. Hey, there we go! Okay, all we had to do was build some trees, and now we are over an 8, and now I am 100% happy. Sweetness. Good stuff. Anytime that you can get over an 8 excitement rating on just a normal wood coaster, you done good. So yeah, that was the last thing that I wanted to do. I wanted to get this coaster over an 8 excitement rating if I could. So yeah, anyway, that is the first scenario of the park, Forest Frontiers. I am going to call that a park, and I'll just do a quick overview of all the stuff we got. Again, the basics of building a successful park. Grid pattern distributes the guests nice and evenly. Usually you do not want your biggest roller coasters at the very front because that will create clusters of people, and you don't want clusters of people because then people will complain about the park being too crowded. So, as you can see here, this first roller, I've spaced the roller coasters out so that there's one on this side, one on this side, and one in the back here. That means that the guests will have to divide their time between them, and that keeps the entire park busy instead of just one segment of the park. So yeah, space your rides out, make sure that there's enough space. The grid pattern also makes sure that guests don't get lost. If you look at my thoughts here, let's see, I need to go to the bathroom. I want to get off Giant Wheel. Nobody is saying I can't find blank. People think that my drinks and burgers are good value. That's always a good thing. There's like one person thinking that it's too crowded, even though we have like 800 people in this tiny space. So yeah, that is pretty much a prototypical type of park that I will build, and I will be doing this in all of the future scenarios, and we will be building lots of awesome custom coasters. The custom coasters are great because they change completely depending on the landscape of the park, where to me flat rides are just flat rides. They're like fillers that fill up the empty space in your park, and I guess technically you have people who don't like roller coasters, or who don't like roller coasters something to do, but those people are weird. Roller coasters are the best. Alright, so we got 2 coasters with very high excitement ratings, cool beans. We got our kitty coaster, which has a high excitement rating. This park was a success. I will see you guys next time when we will take on Dynamite Dunes. Thank you for watching. Let's save and quit.